Hi, I'm Tim Kubarich, and I'm Co-Deputy Director of Research at Hardy Loebner. The bargaining power of suppliers focuses on industry participants' ability to capture economic value for themselves, as well as how much of that value needs to go to the suppliers to create the products and services for your industry. To give you a set of the landscape, if we think about the home product companies with Procter & Gamble's Tide detergent or Reckitt Benckiser's Lysol wipes, who are their suppliers? Well, there's underlying chemical businesses, and one angle to consider about whether or not these chemical companies have bargaining power over the home product goods companies is on how credible it is for them to forward integrate into that industry. Forward integration is being able to move into the next leg of your industry. And if we think about the enormous amounts of complexity and capital required to build a brand, to do all that advertising, to do packaging and product development, it is not credible that those chemical suppliers are going to forward integrate into the home product good market. Because of that lack of credibility, their bargaining power remains weak, which prevents them from raising their prices of their materials. This in turn controls the cost to the home cleaning product companies, which allows them to generate more profit. So what would be an example of the opposite? Where is the bargaining power of the suppliers very strong? If you think about semiconductor manufacturing, and say these are some of the largest, most well-known companies on earth, if they're dependent on one supplier to push forward a differentiated product, then that's going to drive up the supplier power. And in this case, ASML's equipment is the only way to which Intel, Samsung, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing are able to push forward on those smallest edge chips. And therefore, that drives up ASML's bargaining power in their relationship. The costs for their materials remain high, which negatively affects profits for the companies like Intel, Samsung, or TSMC. The Porter dynamics aren't solely based around the question, is this company attractive because of a specific Porter force? Across all these different forces, you recognize that there's strengths and weaknesses, and it's imperative to objectively analyze each of those forces to understand the long-term trends of profitability of the industry. But as it relates to bargaining power of suppliers, the semiconductor industry is highly dependent on ASML.